failed its health inspection last month, and that was the second time in just as many months.
Yeah, and I paid that restaurant a visit this week to ask questions about their problems behind the kitchen door.
Guerrero's Mexican restaurant, located in the 3700 block of Nogalito Street, failed their November inspection with a low score of 60. This after failing another inspection back in September. They got a 64 on that one. This time around, they racked up 21 health code violations. They were improperly cooling foods. The inside of the ice machine needed to be cleaned and sanitized to remove a buildup, and the dishwashing machine wasn't sanitizing the dishes. A worker was cutting onions with bare hands. Another employee dropped a thermometer on the floor, picked it up, wiped it off with a paper towel, and was about to use it on some food before the inspector stepped in and stopped them. I stopped by this week to see why they failed 2 inspections in a row, but was told there was no manager available to speak to me at that time. I also noticed the business hadn't posted the inspection report, which they were also cited for. Tienda Centro America, located in the 3900 block of San Pedro, earned a 76 on their inspection last month. They were selling food that was improperly labeled. Knives were stored with food debris on them. They were told to check for pest activity, and they were storing food in non-food grade containers, including plastic shoe boxes and t-shirt bags. The business also had its license suspended due to a clogged grease trap. They were told to clear the drain and do a deep cleaning to remove sewage debris. I dropped by this week to see just how long they were shut down. A manager refused to go on camera but said they were only closed about an hour. A re-inspection was required to reopen. Mary Chula Mexican Food, located in the 5000 block of West Commerce, earned a 76 on their recent inspection. They had to throw out raw meat that was being kept in a cold unit that was too warm. They also tossed out black, moldy produce that had a foul stench. The dishwasher wasn't cleaning dishes properly. The business also cited for using unapproved chemicals for pest control, including a tracking powder that they were instructed should never be used in the kitchen. Meanwhile, a few roaches were also found there in the kitchen. The business was in need of a thorough cleaning. They were also told to not feed the birds in the back of the business and to not allow minors in the kitchen when the business is open. A re-inspection was ordered. For Behind the Kitchen Door, Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is now asking the families of Sandy Hook school shooting to accept a small fraction of the $1.5 billion of debt he owes them. The InfoWars host declared bankruptcy after being ordered to pay that money in damages to several of the families that lost loved ones after he made false claims that the 2012 shooting was a hoax. Jones is now proposing a settlement that would guarantee those families at least $5.5 million for the next decade. An attorney representing some of the families says they are examining the proposal.
To Ohio now, where the state Supreme Court there dismissed a state challenge to a judge's order that has blocked enforcement of Ohio's near ban on abortions for the last year. That ruling will move action back to the county where it originated, where abortion clinics asked a judge this week to throw out the law following Ohio voters deciding to enshrine abortion rights in the state's constitution back in November. That appeal was dismissed yesterday due to a change in the law.
The first caucuses and primaries are still weeks away.
Yes, but we are getting closer. And now a look at voter insights and rallies in some states. Jay O'Brien tells us what issues matter most to voters.
As crucial presidential primaries in Iowa and New Hampshire near, Republican voters there reacting to the ongoing impeachment inquiry into President Biden, formalized this week in a vote by House Republicans.
I think there's certainly enough there to warrant at least looking into it.
If there was some validity to it, and then yes, I would say that they should look into that. Thus far, there hasn't been.
The first in the nation Iowa caucuses now less than a month away. Voters there concerned about the economy.
The money I make today is basically the same money as I made 20 years ago, and I'm no further ahead in life.
The same worries more than 1,000 miles away in New Hampshire.
Entering adulthood post-college, I feel like the job market is slim and the housing prices keep going up.
Abortion rights polarizing as candidates grapple with the historic lawsuit from Kate Cox challenging Texas's abortion ban and its effect on women's health care.
I don't think that anybody should have a right to discuss medical options about someone else's body.
I'm hoping that they have good judgment on that.
Former President Trump still dominating most primary polls. Other GOP hopefuls looking to grow their support in these crucial remaining weeks.
I like Vivek.
I would probably say Ron DeSantis.
I'd have to say Trump, really.
When people walk into the voting booth, that's when they're going to decide who they really want.
Winter is coming. Years removed from the February freeze of 2021, CPS Energy says they are ready for disaster now, while the leader of CPS is saying we should trust them.
Streaming now.
It is one of those dream interviews, a bucket list Spreester session, by the way. It's a chance to sit down with Texas legend Robert Earl Keen and get a tour of his ranch.
I'm a songwriter, and I make people happy when I play. Being a legend, I don't know. I sort of enjoy people not being able to recognize me, and for some reason, my voice gives me away all the time.
Streaming now on these platforms.
We are nearly 3 years past the February freeze of 2021 that brought the city and the state to a halt. With that in mind, CPS Energy held a briefing this week to say that it is ready for winter. Our Garrett Berger asked the leader of CPS Energy why people should believe that.
When cold winds blow in, CPS Energy says it's prepared to push power out. Utility officials say plants have been prepped for the winter, and they've got more generation ability available than they expect to need.
In short, the plants are ready.
On the other side, it's also trying to entice people to join a voluntary program where CPS can remotely adjust eligible smart thermostats when they need to conserve power. Though they say you can override it.
We'll give you an $85 credit and then a $20 credit for participating in our winter program and then a $30 credit for the summer program.
But if there's a wider power shortage on the Texas grid, CPS says rolling outages should be more regular and manageable than what many saw in the 2021 freeze.
Customers should see 15 minutes off and then hours on, depending upon how much load the ERCOT's asking us to give them.
But that freeze is still at the forefront of many people's minds whenever they think of winter and CPS Energy. So we ask, why should you believe the utility now?
The proof's in the pudding, right? I mean, we got to earn their trust as we get through every season. But, we have not had an event since Winter Storm Uri. And, our track record has to, factor in.
We'll see how this winter affects that record. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Let's hope for sunshine.
Yeah.
Lots of sunshine.
So much sunshine, which is what we saw today and what we're going to see tomorrow. By the way, the winter solstice, the start of astronomical winter, that's actually this coming Thursday. So almost there. But of course, it's been meteorological winter since the start of the month. And by the way, all things considered, today was actually pretty seasonable for this time of year. Our low temperature was 44. That's just 2 degrees above the average of 42. Our high temperature, 68. Very pleasant and comfortable to kickstart any of those weekend plans. Most of us were in the 60s. We did have a few 70s though out there earlier this afternoon. It was 71 for places like Hondo as well as Del Rio, 70 in Cotulla, 68 in Carrizo Springs, low 60s up into the hill country, 64 in Kerrville and 63 in Rock Springs. Again, clear skies right now, allowing those temperatures to fall. 45 over at San Antonio International. It's 48 at Stinson, 47 at Kelly. So it is going to be a cold start to Sunday morning plans. We'll show you that. Another look at the back half of the weekend and also what those low temperatures trend into as we head into next week. All that's after the break.
Today was walking weather.
Yes, lots of.
But it was also like congestion weather. There's a lot of wind happening.
And
the winter stuff is floating around
now. It's not fun.
It certainly is. And what we were talking about earlier with the pollen count that came in for today, Mold skyrocketed into the high category because we had all of that rain yesterday. And then the front, it brought those north winds, which helped the mountain cedar move back in as well. So that even jumped up into the moderate category for today. So all around, not a great day for congestion and allergies, as you can probably tell from the sound of my voice. So yes, let's talk about those weather headlines. Looking ahead to the back half of the weekend, because while the pollen count wasn't great, at least the weather was great today with the low humidity and the sunshine and very comfortable temperatures. Tomorrow, going to be another fantastic day. Lows in the 30s. So yes, it's going to be a cold start. You'll definitely want the extra layer, bundle up. But by the afternoon, you're not going to need it. All of that sunshine helping highs top off near 70 degrees. A quiet start for next week carries over. High pressure moves in. Low humidity there as well through at least Tuesday. But then Wednesday, we'll start to see a touch more of that moisture move back in. And that combined with that next disturbance, helping for some rain chances as well. So we'll talk all about it, of course, to look at current conditions outside. 45 here in town, 46 in New Braunfels, 45 as well for places like Seguin as well as Bernie. So those temperatures are falling, and that's still going to be the case by wake up time tomorrow. Again, up into the hill country in a few spots, it is possible that we briefly dip below that 32-degree mark. So bring in the pets, make sure they have a warm place to stay, as well as those potted plants and sensitive vegetation just beyond the safe side. Here in the Alamo City, and for most of us, we are above freezing first thing tomorrow, but it is just going to be cold. 35 in Hondo, 39 in Carrizo Springs, 36 in Gonzales, and 36 as well up in New Braunfels to kickstart the day. Still cold Monday and into Tuesday, maybe not quite as cold, but we're going to start off in the low 40s each day. But then notice by the middle to even later portions of next week, that's when we really start to see those overnight lows come up, and they will be warmer than average for this time of year. And that also comes with the moisture. So right now we have that low humidity. Dew points, how we measure that low level moisture right now in the 30s. So very dry out there. They're actually about 10 to 20 degrees below where we were this time yesterday. But by Tuesday and really into Wednesday, a high pressure system is going to set up well off to our east. And with where we're positioned in relation to that high pressure system, our winds here at the surface are going to shift in from the southeast. So that's why we're expected to see more of that Gulf moisture start to move in. When you combine that moisture with this little disturbance moving in from the west, that's when we could see some of those rain chances pop back into the forecast. So pretty isolated by Thursday. We'll call it a 30% chance into Friday, and then maybe a few lingering rain chances into next weekend, which is something we'll be watching when it comes to any travel plans across the area and across the state of Texas for Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day. That's something to check back in on in the coming days there as well. Whatever we do find, though, definitely still needed. We talked about rainfall totals from yesterday. That hasn't factored into the latest drought monitor update that was released on Thursday, but this is what we're looking at. We still have drought in place across the vast majority of our region, with that extreme drought still settling in to Bexar County and pointing farther up to the north. So we'll definitely hope to find at least a little bit more rain before we close out the year of 2023. All right, here's one final look at your temperatures. Again, they are falling right now, 40s for most of us. It will be a cold start first thing tomorrow, 60 degrees by 11 a.m. Look at all of that sunshine. It is going to be a very pleasant day across South Central Texas. Monday is going to be great. Tuesday is going to be great. A touch more moisture works in by Wednesday. And then, yes, the cloud cover surges back in as well with those rain chances just ahead of next weekend.
Oh, I love this weather. Bottle it up.
Through no effort of our own, we appear to be somewhat back on time, which means Mary's here to talk about sports, which means I don't have to cold read her teases and screw up any more names.
Hey, we have an update. Bam won the fight. We'll have more on that coming up. Yes, huge knockout. And the Dallas Cowboys are a win or a tie away from clinching a playoff spot. But how will they fare this week at Buffalo? Plus, Week 15 sees 3 NFL games on this lovely Saturday. We'll bring you up to speed after the break.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys are riding high entering Week 15, coming off of a 33-13 rout of Philadelphia to overtake the top spot in the NFC East. The Cowboys now just one win or a tie away from clinching their third consecutive playoff berth. The challenge this week for Dallas will be taking its high-octane offense on the road to 7-6 Buffalo. The Cowboys have been lights out at home, 7-0, outscoring opponents by a significant margin. But on the road, Dallas is not nearly as efficient, standing at 3-3.
I really just take this momentum. Obviously, make sure our communication's at its all-time high on offense. Obviously, going into a place with a hectic environment, great atmosphere, great fans out here. Yeah, looking forward to the challenge, but right now it's not about home or away. These are all playoff type games, as I spoke about before, and so it's important for us just to use this momentum, confidence that we've gathered from the last month and a half, I guess you can say, and make sure we take another step on the road.
Kickoff between Dallas and Buffalo is at 3:25 tomorrow. The forecast looks to be in the 40s with chances of rain. And the Houston Texans play at noon in Tennessee. C.J. Stroud is still in concussion protocol, and Nico Collins remains questionable. All right, to today's NFL slate, the Vikings at Cincinnati. Second quarter, Minnesota QB Nick Mullins tries to get rid of the ball before he's sacked, but he throws it right at B.J. Hill, who gets control of it for the interception. That was a tough play. Under 50 on the game clock. Vikings ahead 24-17 when Jake Browning gets it to T. Higgins, who makes a great catch and somehow reaches in for the 21-yard touchdown. That sends the game to overtime. An incredible catch where the Bengals win on an Evan McPherson field goal, 27-24 the final. Steelers at Indianapolis. Pittsburgh defense comes up big early. The Colts punt is blocked by the Steelers special teams, and Pittsburgh would later find the end zone thanks to that punt block. Indianapolis takes the lead right before halftime as Gardner Minshew hits DJ Montgomery, and he gets in for the touchdown. The Colts stay in front from there to win 30-13, improving to 8-6. Now temporarily a half game ahead of three teams for the AFC's seventh and final playoff spot. All right, let's get you an update on that Texas Tech Cal Independence Bowl game. The game kicked off at 8:15, and this score is not up to date. Texas Tech just scored. They lead 31-14 in the third quarter. That just happened, so excuse me for the unupdated graphic. All right, San Antonio's own Jesse Bam Rodriguez meets another undefeated world champion tonight in a title unification bout, and the fight went 9 rounds. Bam dropped Edwards at the end of the 9th round, and Bam wins on a TKO in the 9th round to unify the IBF WBO title. So Hugh, congratulations to the San Antonio native.
Bringing it back again.
Yes.
Mary.
Very impressive. All right, we'll be right back.
Tonight we have to tell you about. Thousands of students will cross the stage and get their degrees at the University of North Texas tomorrow. Among them is 90-year-old Minnie Payne, who just completed her master's in interdisciplinary studies. At 90, she is the oldest person to ever get a degree from UNT.
I will never complain again about any tests and studies that I had to do. After working and raising her children for most of her life, she got her undergrad 17 years ago. And when asked why she went back to get her master's, it was simple. Her philosophy is to always be doing something constructive.
I'm totally, this thing broke.
All right, well, we're going off the rails here.